What's up, YouTube? Well, what can you say? Um, Eagles lose to the Cardinals again. This time 40-17, and uh, I was there. I was at the game, and it was, you know, Arizona's a damn good team. I mean, if you ask me, they could very well represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year in Santa Clara, Super Bowl 50, because they play well on offense, they play well on defense, play well on special teams. Um, there's not a lot of weaknesses and there's not a lot of holes. And I know that Matthew is out now. He season-ending injury, so that might hurt them a little bit, particularly in the secondary. But um, it's still a really good team. They're well coached. I said last week about Bruce Arians. Um, they are. They're a really really good team, and their fans are treated to this team. And I wish it was the Eagles. I really do. Eagle fans, we've been through a whole lot, and we have always been there for this team. I think a lot of Cardinal fans have been around since '08 when they went to the Super Bowl, but Eagle fans have been around. Eagle fans have been around a very long time, and we've been very loyal for this team. And unfortunately, they haven't rewarded us with the ultimate prize yet. It looks like this season's not going to be any different. Um, so what's ahead of, I can go into the game, but you know what? We all know. It was a pathetic display, again on national television. They couldn't tackle they couldn't tackle their way out of a paper bag. I mean, Byron Maxwell, I mean, really, he's riding the back of their big tight end, their Fells, for like 15 yards, trying to strip the ball. The one thing that this team does, instead of trying to strip the ball, tackle first, then try to strip the ball. They're just out there trying to strip the ball every time instead of tackling. And what happens? Guys get away. They avoid the arm tackles. I mean, that guy, David Johnson, the third string running back, looked like Marshawn Lynch, looked like Jerome Bettis out there. You know? It's just, I don't know. And again, this team is so schizophrenic, you just don't know what Eagles team we're going to get week to week. I mean, it's been so unpredictable the whole season. I mean, they get blown out by Tampa Bay and Detroit back-to-back weeks, and they're going to New England, right? And we're all like, well, I mean, good luck with that. And they win. And then they beat Buffalo in another big game. And then, okay, so they're on a little bit of a roll. They have some momentum. They played with heart and passion. And then they get the doors blown off at home. Again, at home. 2 out of the last 3 home games they gotten blown out. They get blown out. Obviously, again, look, all credit to Arizona. They're one of the best teams in the league. And to beat them, you got to do a lot of things right, and you got to play a near perfect game. And Eagles certainly did anything but. I mean, Arizona had the ball the first possession of the game. They go down, they score a touchdown. Right off the bat, they're up 7-0. And they just made it look easy. And, it's just one of those games. I'll be honest, we left just before the end of the third quarter when Arizona went up by 3 scores. And the reasons for that is we know what this team's doing this year. When they're bad, they're bad. I mean, there's no way they're coming back. I know, earlier in the day, the Giants came from behind and nearly, pulled off a win there against, or at least set the game to overtime against Carolina. But if the Eagles are down 20 points or whatever it was, that's it. And we could tell just by the way they were playing. And that was it. That's it. Game over. And I'm not one to really leave games early. That's just, I usually stick it through. But we just made the decision that hey, if they didn't show up for us, why are we here? Why? To watch this? Disappointing. And they were with him in the first half. The second half, get the ball first. They got a first down, and that was it. Boop, 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 done. Punt. And at that point, it was a 7-point game. Obviously, they couldn't get it on 4th and short. Just before the half, they were driving, inside the red zone. 4th and short, couldn't convert. And in the second half, it was basically all Arizona. I know they got the one touchdown, the deep touchdown to Jordan Matthews, but I mean, again, to beat a team like Arizona, you gotta do a lot better job than what they did, and the poor tackling, and the just going through the motions, not playing with heart and emotion, just kind of playing similar to what they did against Tampa and Detroit in that stretch, and it's just so disheartening. And it's crazy because we just don't know what Eagles team's going to show up week to week. Which one are we going to get this week against Washington? You hope it would be the good one. And that brings up to the point to what they're going to do the remainder of the season. So they got, even with everything that's going on, if they somehow beat Washington this week at home on Saturday night, and they beat the Giants the next week in the Meadowlands, the Eagles will win the division and be the 4th seed and play the 5th seed. And that could be Seattle. Oh, boy. Really looking forward to that. Or it could possibly be Minnesota or Green Bay, depending on who wins that division. And of the two, I think I'd rather see Minnesota. Because goodness, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, you want to go up against Discount Double Check? Do you really? Yeah. With all due respect to Minnesota, I mean, Adrian Peterson isn't looking that much more better, particularly after how Johnson ran against this defense. But, I've always said that I can't sit here and say, okay, well, that's it. Let's just not worry about this division anymore. Get a better, pick in the draft and whatnot. I mean, not that this team drafts very well. So, I mean, does it really matter? They've already screwed themselves by winning those 2 games. Because they won't have like one of the top picks. So, I mean, even then, would it really matter the way this team drafts? I don't know. But all that being said, the fan in me, I can't just sit here and say I don't care. Let them just lose to Washington and be done with it. I can't do that. I mean, you never want to see your team lose. And even in seasons like this, it's like, you know what? At least give me something. Lord knows the Sixers are horrendous. The Phillies are going to have another bad year. The Flyers have played better, give them credit. But you never know what can happen. It's still a long way to go before the playoffs or the playoff hunt in the NHL. So right now, I mean, I'm watching the bowl game right now, the Boca Raton bowl game, the Temples, and they're losing at the half. So it's like, okay, I need something. And you know what? A little run, a little playoff run. You win these next 2 games, you get into the playoffs. It's a home game, even though they haven't played that great at home. But it's still a home game, and you have a shot. You never know. Stranger things have happened in the NFL in the playoffs. But honestly, the realization is that the way this team has played in certain games, we don't know what Eagles team's going to show up this Saturday night. We don't know, even if they win this Saturday night, what Eagles team is going to show up at the Meadowlands next Sunday against the Giants. We have no idea. For all we know, they can win this week and then go and somehow lose to the Giants the next week. I mean, the Giants won't have anything to play for at that point, besides, if they lose this week to Minnesota, besides the fact to knock the Eagles out of the playoffs. And even though the Eagles have had the Giants' number in recent years, it's a possibility that could happen. I would hope not. Look, I'm not saying anything that I haven't said before in this series this season. This has been one of the most frustrating seasons that I've watched. I've watched a team show up with no heart and no emotion and no passion for certain games. They've given you glimpses by beating the Patriots, by winning an overtime game at Dallas on a touchdown to Jordan Matthews, by, winning a big emotion-filled game in Shady's return against Buffalo. And then, they have games. It's like they blow a 16-3 lead at home against the pitiful Dolphins. They get their rear ends handed to them by a rookie quarterback in Jameis Winston. 5 touchdown passes. They go to Detroit, and look, Detroit, I mean, they kind of were on a run at that time, but now they're not playing too great. I know they beat the Saints last night, but they get their rears handed to them in Detroit. So we don't know what it's like week to week. Damn it, what team's going to show up, man? And I don't know. But the fan in me is always, I want this team to win. I want this, the type of season that the Panther fans are getting, that the Cardinal fans are getting. It should be us. Why can't we get a season like that? Why is it that the Eagle fans are constantly being punished? Is it the booing of Santa Claus? Is that really what it is? Because that was a fake Santa. That was a fan. Okay? That was a drunk fan dressed as Santa. Enough. My God. What this fan base has been through with this team, and we're there for them every week. Every week. It's like, being a boxer and just going through round after round after round of getting beat, and you're back, you keep getting back up, for another round. And I don't want to sound like that guy, but it's so unfair to me that I see these other teams with these fan bases that weren't nowhere near as passionate as these Eagle fans have been for their team. And they're getting these special seasons, right? They win Super Bowls. They have these great years, right? They get it done right. They get the right coach. They get the right players. They get the things that we want so badly that it hurts. It kills us every season when this team just can't get it done right. They can't get it. Damn it, we've earned an undefeated season. We have. I'm sorry, it shouldn't be the freaking Panthers. Come on, man. All due respect to them, but I mean, damn. Everything we've been through, we deserve the undefeated season. Not the Panthers. It sucks, man. But, look, they test you. And this team, this organization, it tests you every year. Every stinking year. It's not just the Eagles, too. It's all of our teams. They test us to no end. They tease us. They seem like they're getting it together, and it just falls apart. And it's difficult. It's really difficult to stay to keep that we're gonna still be fans. But that's what being a fan's all about. I've always said this. You have these fan bases that seem to pop up for teams. And I'm not going to call people out. I'm not going to call the fan bases out here because you know what? No. But you have these fan bases that just seem to pop up when things are going well, and then they disappear when things are going bad. And I can only speak for myself. I live here. I live in the Philadelphia area. I listen to sports talk radio at work and in the car, and I live this. I'm here in the Philly area, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt that these fans, they're always there. The season doesn't end after the season's over. They're talking about it. Really, mainly the Eagles more than anything else, because like I said, it's a football town. It's been a football town. It's a great baseball town when the Phillies are when they're doing their thing. It's a terrific hockey town, and I've always said the Flyer fans don't get enough credit because they sell out that building during losing seasons. And basketball, it's a great bloodline in basketball in Philly. And it sucks that the Sixers are horrible right now. Because this is a great basketball town too. It's a great college basketball town. I mean, they know their hoops around here. And it's certainly a football town. And the Eagles have always meant a lot here. You have these teams that move from city to city. Even like really good football towns, they've moved and came back in some cases. It's not Philly. The Eagles will always be here. I will say that with 100% certainty. They are never going to move because they are as part of this city as the Liberty Bell, as a cheesesteak. They are part of the foundation of this city because the fan base is part of the foundation of this city. And all we want is our moment in the sun. And our time to be rewarded for all the stuff we've been through. Now, obviously, it doesn't seem like that's going to be this year. But that is why we're so hard on this team. That's why we have that rough edge. Because we've been through so damn much. We've come close a few times. I've always said this, that Super Bowl, what was it? Super Bowl 39, when the Eagles played the Patriots. And I know the Patriot fans get a lot of credit, and they're this great fan base, and oh, look at them. Eagle fans outnumbered them 10-1 at that game. They took over Jacksonville. Absolutely took over the place. People who couldn't even go to the game were there. And again, I know Boston fans get a ton of credit, and their fans, it's like they can never do any wrong and this and that. They've been on this great high. They've won a ton of championships in the past decades. I mean, okay, they've had a ton of success. But in that moment, in that weekend, in that week leading up to the game, it was all Eagle fans. So you can always tell how much it would mean to us to win. All you have to do is look at, go back to looking at that Super Bowl. And you tell me what fan base it meant more to if that the Patriots won or if the Eagles would have won. Would have meant a whole hell of a lot more to us. Everything. And maybe sometimes as a fan base you get used to it. You have these teams that win a lot and they've won multiple championships, and then you kind of sit back there and go, yeah, I'm kind of used to it. I'll tell you what, if that was the Eagles, I could never say I would get used to it because I remember these years when we were, horrible. I remember years when we get close and we lose. We lose in the Super Bowl. We lose in the NFC title games. Yeah, I can never be one of those fans. If the Eagles won 3 straight Super Bowls, I couldn't say, yeah, it's nice, but it's getting a little old now. No, I would cherish and appreciate every second of them because I've been through the wars, and all of us have been through the wars. And I know I've kind of gotten off on a tangent here and gotten off target, but yeah, I mean, this is what it means, And it sucks, but it is what it is. We're there for them every year, and that's what it is. We get criticized a lot from people, but our ultimate goal and what their ultimate goal should be is to win that last game in early February. And that's why seasons like this is just so crazy, because you just don't know what to expect. Every time you think you have it figured out, nope, you don't have it figured out. And so anyhow, Eagles have a big game this Saturday night against Washington. If the Eagles win, they keep their, playoff hopes alive. Can I sit here with a straight face and say, oh yeah, they'll beat Seattle if they get in? Oh yeah, they'll beat Arizona or Carolina. No. But I would rather at least get in and have the alternative. And the alternative is we still have that just nothing. We're still sitting here in that just this land of one loss after another. But it's I don't know what to expect on Saturday night. I don't know what Eagles team is going to show up. All I know, though, is that it's another big game. It's another home game. And it's like I've said for this team before, you're at home. The fans are going to be there. Even through all of the crap that we've gone through this season, they're going to be there. They're going to be there cheering like they always do. And it's up to you to show up for them now. Again, try to. Again, it's a big game. It's a big game. Even with everything that's gone down, it's a big game because, it's still... it's still a chance to get into the dance if you win it. And you got D-Jax coming back to Philly again. And it's a big game. It's Eagles-Redskins basically for the division. Depending, again, on what happens. Well, actually, the Eagles play Saturday. Now, Giants play on Sunday. So, if the Giants lose, then they're pretty much knocked out. But a big game, and again, it's at home. So I don't know what to expect to my viewers. I have no idea. But I'm going to do what I do every week. I'm going to root for them. I'm going to hope for the best. See what happens. And either way, win or lose, as you know, there'll be a video to follow for the Season of the Fan series. So that's going to do it for now. Do me a favor. Go and check out EDP's channel for his rant during that Cardinals game. That was one of the all-time best. And I think EDP, I think all of us Eagle fans need those ibuprofen. We all have headaches watching this team. But great stuff by him, and at least it brought a smile to my face after that game. So I thank him for that. I know it wasn't his intention to, but sometimes you just gotta laugh. That's really sometimes all you can do. As bad as things look sometimes, it's really all you can do. We're fans. We don't play on the field. I know EDP wants to, but we have nothing. All we do is cheer. We can't get out there and strap them on and try to help the team. It just doesn't work that way. But well, we can in Madden. We can do that. We can create ourselves and put us on the team. But in real life, we can't do that. But as I said, as always, look, huge game this weekend. Put the Arizona game behind me. Get ready for Washington. Hope to get a win there, and a win, and another win next week gets the division. So they're still alive for that. We'll see what happens. It's still looking bleak, but you never know. And we'll hope for the best. And I said this in the other series. I'll say it again. Happy holidays to all the viewers. Merry Christmas. I know Christmas is coming up in a few days, so Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year 2016. And for those of you wondering about the Mighty Fans Melting the Ice series, I didn't get around to doing the editing that I wanted to this weekend because it was last minute kind of, but I was going to the Eagles game, so that kind of pushed the editing back a little bit. But I hope to have that first video of that series up by within the next day or so, if not sooner. I just have to get the video off my GoPro and do all the editing and everything. But hopefully I will have that up. My goal is to have it up before Christmas, so we'll see what happens. But it's all done. It just has to be edited. So once I do that, you'll see it, and will probably be the next. It will be the next video that gets posted on my channel after this one. So just a little channel note there. So all right, everyone. As always, this is Mighty Fan, and let's go Birds. Big game at home against Washington. Hopefully you can get it and still have a shot for the division and a playoff berth. So we'll see. All right, everyone. Take care.